Plug and Play Podcast. What is up, good people? We are back. It's your boys AD and J, and we are here to Plug and Play Podcast Season 0, Episode 3. We're giving you the handheld games of the Dragon Ball franchise. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's a great time. We got a lot of stuff to talk about before that, though. We got like State of Play from Sony. We got the final trailer for Sparking Zero. You know, it's a whole lot of good stuff to talk about. But first, Jay, my brother, how you doing?
Doing well, man. Doing well. You know, like you said, it's been a huge week in the nerd space. So I'm just thriving off of all these announcements that we're getting. We got Tokyo Game Show coming up this weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is just that time to be revved in, tapped in with all the gaming stuff, man.
Oh, yeah.
Good Lord. Like, right now, we only a week and a half away from Sparking Zero, my man.
Time is creeping up.
Yes.
Time is creeping up. I want you guys to know the last episode is gonna probably be released when we get Sparking Zero, and so we'll probably be playing like hands-on when that episode drops, and it'll be, you know, all the sleeper gems, because this episode, like, we've just been rushing through a lot of stuff like through this series. Like, this season has been jam-packed with a bunch of different games. I think we've covered at least 10 games minimum, and we're about to drop at least like 5 to 6 more, and that's not including the ones that we want to add on to the sleeper list, because
seriously
it's
like there's ones that we were like, nah, we gotta save that for later, right? Because there's entirely different reasons we gotta talk about it. But even categorizing all these different games into like, okay, what space do they go to? Dragon Ball has given us a lot of hits over the years, bro. It was pretty tough to even decide, like, okay, like, no, when am I going to talk about this game?
Exactly. And like, for me, a lot of these games, like, I haven't played in a very long time. So like, just trying to play them, and some of them I haven't even played before. So like, just trying to get through them in a week by week basis. I'm not gonna hold you. One of the games that we're probably gonna lightly touch on, I just played for the first time, and I'm gonna keep playing it. Like, you might have to get like a review down the line on where I'm at with the game and how do I feel about it. I'm just saying there might just have to be an extra episode, because, you know, there's so good much
stuff, man. Yeah, like, and to be completely honest with you, right? Like, there are some experiences where you play the game and you're like, okay, I've gotten my fill, or you go down memory lane with something and you're like, okay, cool, I remember these moments in the game. And then there's some of these games, man, it'll take over your life for about a good month. Easy. And I've been feeling that with a couple of them. I'm like, damn. Dragon Ball has produced some really good games. You know, we may have a special project coming up in the works regarding Akira Toriyama and some games, but, you know, that's right.
We'll talk about that when we can.
Stay tuned.
But first, bro, we went to Netflix Geeked Week 2024,
sure did.
And it was hosted here in Atlanta. We were there live, so we got to see all the announcements. They had us in like the big theater on the east side, and it was an amazing experience. How did you feel about it?
Man, I really enjoyed it. First off, like, shouts out to online networking. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you. Hold on, because you got me the ticket, man, and I was like, damn right.
Hey, man.
Hold up.
I knew a dude that was like, hey, I know this is happening. You might want to check out a link in case you want to go check this out. So then I signed up for tickets, right? I completely skipped my mind after I signed up for tickets. So then, like, I hit you up. I'm like, oh, yo, we should check this out. Tickets already sold out by that point, and I was like, well, I got to, so let's make sure we go. Yeah, I was planned, man. I was like, either way, bro, like, we're gonna find a way to get into this, because I was like, yo, a Netflix Geeked event, like, always some of the coolest announcements for Netflix out of the year at that event. This is the first time they ever held it live, so I had to make sure we were going to be in the building.
Yeah, man, and we were definitely treated with some great announcements. Like we can't talk about everything. Like, well, of course we can't because it was live. But highlights of things that we got. We got the trailer for Sakamoto Days. We got One Piece season 2. A lot of casting announcements. Like we got Crocodile and Miss All Sunday there, and then we got the teaser for Tony Chopper. You know what I'm saying? We got Squid Game.
I'm so hyped about that.
Listen, man, with the season 2 of One Piece, we're there.
Yeah, honestly, like, and before we even get to any other shows, I gotta say, this event could have just been the One Piece season 2 showcase, right? You know, like it was almost like it was built around building up to One Piece. It was about an hour and a half before they finally mentioned it. They kept teasing at it throughout the show, and it was hosted by Joe Manganiello, who is playing Crocodile in One Piece season 2. Like, it was almost like they were like letting us know, like, no, the One Piece section, we know that's why y'all are here, and the One Piece is very real. Like, yes, sir.
We got very Matt real. Owens, the director, the writer. Like, it was an amazing experience. I'll tell you right now, the moment that they announced Chopper, we were like, that's it. We can go now.
Yeah. When we were like, all right, cool. We've seen everything we needed to see, my boy. Man. Like it was a huge event. There was a lot of people there, and it only made sense. Like, let's try to dip before this crowd rush, man. So I think we really only, as far as like the shows we didn't see there, we didn't see Tomb Raider.
That would have been a nice one to kind of check.
Yeah. I think there was a couple of other shows that they had, like, that were already out that they showed some stuff about. But I think we saw everything like major that got announced that day.
They did show like the next Black Mirror season and the amount of cast people on there. Like, there are some good names on that list. There are some really good names on that list. So I might be tapped into that. We also got some good stuff for Avatar: The Last Airbender on Netflix.
My girl Toph coming, man.
Yeah, that teaser trailer was crazy.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be nice.
Yeah, and then we also got that final trailer for Stranger Things, season 5.
That was cool. Like, the teaser we got that really swept me away. Devil May Cry.
Oh yeah,
Devil May Cry, man.
With Johnny Young Bosch.
Yes, my boys Nero and Dante now. Listen. He said, look, if you're an actor that maybe there's a little salt of cancellation on you, I'm coming for the bag. Okay? Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Also, hold on real quick. Shout out to fucking Capcom for like just coming out with hits. Because they also did the Resident Evil last year or 2 years ago. Like, they are coming in hot. They are coming in hot, bro. Like,
listen, man. I just need one of these animators to give me a serious Mega Man X series, and we on. Okay?
You are talking. You are spitting right now. Fuck it. Map up. You don't need no sleep.
look. Y'all don't need to go home anyway. Okay? Y'all wasn't gonna go home anyway.
Y'all trying to find a bag of Attack on Titan? There it is. It's right there.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, and then all in all, that was a great showcase. I'm happy
it was.
We went
real fun.
Earlier this week, we had the State of Play, the Sony State of Play, September 2024.
Yeah,
a lot of great stuff was announced.
So much. I mean, we're talking about, shoot, man, like everything was just a rush in that entire announcement, really.
I was go ahead.
The Lunar Remastered Collection, bro.
Yes.
Lunar 1 and 2. For all the people, you don't have to fucking take your kids out of college to play Lunar now. You know what I'm saying? Because like, listen, if you know anything about Lunar, the JRPG series, man, trying to get Lunar 1 and Lunar 2 for the consoles it came out for, I believe Sega Saturn and the PlayStation 1, trying to get hands on those copies, you're gonna spend hundreds of dollars. So just the fact that they're coming out with both of them remastered, updated, better quality of life features, man, I'm really excited that people are gonna be able to experience the Lunar games because they were a lot of fun back in the day. Another remaster that really shocked me, man, Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 1 and 2. I was blown away, bro, because I lived on before we had Devil May Cry and before we had like, your Bayonettas and those kinds of games, man, the platformers, they were normally kind of kiddie games. So you didn't really have some like serious, like dark kind of dude like going around doing stuff. That was the first game I can remember playing as a vampire and like whooping people's asses, bro, and like stealing souls and doing all kind, twisting the realm around. Man, I'm here for all of that, bro. I'm here for all of that.
Those games are gonna be definitely on the list for me for sure.
Oh yeah.
Also, the next Square Enix JRPG, Fantasia Neo Dimension, that caught my eye. I was like, Square, a lot of the times y'all can't do no wrong in my eyes. There are some times where it's like, Final Fantasy, that's gonna make money. Dragon Quest, it needs to make more money. Games like this, you just gotta take a chance on.
And let's eat like if you know kind of thing on this, right? Because Fantasia is made by Hironobu Sakaguchi, Godfather of Final Fantasy. Music's done by Nobuo Uematsu, Godfather of Final Fantasy music. This is a Final Fantasy game just out of the title, bro. Fantasia. They was like, nah, listen, we gotta keep it as close to, you know what I mean? Like, it looks like this is what we want when we're talking about a like 2D, 3D JRPG experience. If it's not gonna be a remake of a game, this is what we want.
Exactly.
Fantasia looks like it's gonna blow me away.
Yeah. Definitely gotta get hands on that. Also, we saw the next Dragon Age game. I'm not a big fan of Dragon Age. I've never really played it, but
I couldn't get into them either.
But it won Game of the Year, Dragon Age Inquisition. So I'm curious about this because the last EA game I played, besides like I've been Madden and like that. But the last EA game that I've actually touched was Anthem. So it's like, I would like to get my hands into this one because I hear great things about it.
See, my thing here is that I used to be a real big BioWare head, bro. Like,
oh really?
Jade Empire on the original Xbox, bro. That's one of my favorite RPGs of all time. Oh, like, that's the one franchise they never go back to. Jade Empire is literally like a martial arts RPG. You get to learn different styles. You have different choices you can make. Like, you know how they was like, oh yeah, Mass Effect, you'll be able to make your different choices. By the end, like, no, everything they said about that was true in Jade Empire on the original Xbox. You literally had like 4 or 5 different endings just off of the different decisions you can make, or like the different martial arts styles you can like do the dark hand and all this shit, man. Listen, I used to be all in when it comes to BioWare. I was a big fan of Mass Effect as well, I won't lie. But
I was only into Mass Effect 1. I never got into 2 and 3. I got them. I own them.
Mass Effect, yeah. I've never beaten 3 to this day. I get through 3 and I get halfway through and I'm like, I'm not playing 2 anymore. I'm turning this off. It's just, I can't get through it. But my thing is like BioWare just seems like for every new RPG they come out with, like it just goes away from the spirit of what made those old games so enjoyable. That I just feel lost as a person like looking at BioWare games now. So like I'll listen, if they put Dragon Age on Game Pass, I'll give it a try.
I think they would. I think they will. But
it's gonna have to take that for me to want to like get dip my toes in. They're not gonna get 70 out of me. I see what could be a $70 game for somebody. I'm just not that somebody,
I see it coming out like if it doesn't do well, or if it's not like Game of the Year worthy, I could see it sometime next year or maybe like following year. What is it? PlayStation Plus or that the free game. I can see it be one of those. We also got the announcement after getting hit by a lawsuit. From big homie Nintendo
just last week.
They said, "Fuck it."
They said, "We all in, baby."
World on PS5. You know what? Fuck it. Hey, shout out to them.
Yeah, they said, "Listen, we made that investment a long time ago. We're gonna have to get it to pay off one way or another." Like Sony made the partnership with Power World at a really smart time when it was really early on. What was that, like back this past July, right?
Yeah.
But it was still at a period where like, is Power World a Pokemon ripoff or not? Right? And is Nintendo gonna step in and challenge it or not? So I get like, Sony was stuck to the partnership, but they damn sure picked an odd time to drop it on the PS5.
Shadow drop. Legit.
It picked a very odd time.
I don't know what repercussions may come from this for either Sony or the Power World developers.
Yeah.
But all I can tell you is they trying to drop like Tory Lane's locked up. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pay off them. You gotta pay off them fees, brother. You gotta pay off them.
Yeah, man. Bro, it's nuts. I remember when I saw that trailer, I was like, okay, I know what I'm looking at, but they better not put no distinctly almost Pokemon in this trailer. Otherwise, it's going to be hot for them. And then I saw the damn fake Electabuzz and the fake damn Gardevoir / Blossom fusion. And I was like, all right, man. Hey, that's on you. I saw the little character throw down a ball and the monster came out. I was like, that's on y'all, bro. y'all got
me the closest that we get Pokemon on this system, like anywhere close to Sony. This is the closest. Besides,
it's the closest thing to a fully fleshed out Pokemon RPG at that too.
Right,
real talk. Right.
So I mean, shout out to them. Shout out to them wholeheartedly. Let's see what happens. We got Monster Hunter Wilds coming out 2025.
It looks huge.
Yeah, I'm loving that. Stellar Blade, we got Nier Automata DLC, TMNT Shredder's Revenge DLC.
Yeah, man, I'm about to get back on there.
Listen, that's actually been one of side tangent. We were supposed to do some gaming stuff. It was supposed to be me, LJ, and the boys from Blackberry. We talked about this before. Might do it later. We still gonna have to talk about it, but that was a game that we were supposed to play on some stuff.
Oh, that's cold. That's cold.
So, but we'll talk about it another time. And then Sonic X Shadow Generations, Keanu Reeves DLC voice pack. We got trailers. Man. We got a whole bunch of stuff. Listen.
I was really excited to see that trailer. This is the first time where they're making one of the movies actually playable in the game. I think that's really dope. Especially considering like they're going with that art style in that DLC too. This is really the year of Shadow for real, man. Like, there are so many great projects coming out that are involving like my favorite Sonic character. I'm really hyped to see it, man.
Yeah, the biggest one is going to be the DC crossover for me.
Oh yeah,
that was really nice. They're doing like a whole comic book crossover.
Yeah, the Justice League crossover. Listen, look, I want Shadow Batman in a game so bad,
bro.
So bad,
bro. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, it's one of those things where, first let me say this: Sonic Generations is the only game. It is the last and only game that I own on Xbox 360 right now. Like physical copy. So like that game means a lot to me. So the fact that they actually got this Shadow whole side story crossover after he wasn't really playable in Forces, it's just been a long time that we've seen him playable in any like major capacity in the Sonic game. It's just great to see them go all out for the brother. The biggest thing for me in the entire trailer was like they gave us a whole animated trailer. They gave him like all the biggest fights. We saw him fight Omega. We saw him fight Metal Madness and Merle from Sonic Battle. Like it was just a lot of big stuff that went on in that trailer, and they're really just going all out with Shadow. He's been one of the biggest characters. I'm glad that Sega and Sonic Team are really just like going all out for the man, because like, it's been a long time and
it's been needed.
It's been desperately needed. And I'm glad that we're seeing like 15 to 20 years down the line, but we're finally getting a revitalization of like the Sonic characters that aren't just Sonic and Tails, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody's getting back involved in some capacity, and we're getting like new stories or like follow-ups on things, and I'm just like,
and it's wild to see that it's because of a successful movie franchise.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That came out during COVID.
If it wasn't for that first movie, second movie, both doing so well, man, Sonic would still be Sega's afterthought right now.
Shout out to the public for trashing them for that first trailer. Like,
oh yeah, bullying works sometimes, bro.
It really does. It really does. Last thing before we get into the main topic, is we got the final trailer. We got the full roster for Sparking Zero.
Oh, I'm sorry. Before we get to that, there is a part of the state of play we did not mention.
Oh.
The way that Sony finally got my ass. Ghost of Yote.
Oh, yeah! Talk about it.
Sony, listen, Sony probably the biggest pimps in the game, all right? Because, what was it, 2-3 weeks ago? You got the whole public reacting to the PlayStation 5 Pro, and we like, nah, pimping, you can keep it. You can keep it. Then, a week later, they announced the 30th anniversary bundle with the gray iconic imagery from the original PS1. And you got the diehards like, maybe.
I said, no, here's the thing, because I said the same thing when they did that for the PS4, but they made it, it's a limited run. So I was like, ain't no way. There's no way. Fuck out of here.
But yes, man, this week with this damn Ghost of Yote trailer, and like they played it smart, because they reminded us the PS5 Pro was coming along, and then they put Ghost of Yote right after that. And I'm sorry, like, it's just no way. As beautiful as that game is looking, and it looks like a technical enhancement to even Ghost of Tsushima, which, like, it was made on the PS4, but the PS5 version looked night and day to the PS4. To say that you're giving us a graphical enhancement of that, I'm sorry. I already know my PS5 is gonna sound like a jet engine if I put that bitch in. So, like, I'm like, all right, you got me, motherfucker. You got me.
It's gonna take a little bit more for me. I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna take just a little bit more.
Listen, I'm insane, bro. And I'll tell you right now, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth in full 60 frames per second, the way I was supposed to play it the day I got it. Listen, that plus Ghost of Yote, all right, man. Cool. Take it out of my direct deposit or some shit. I don't know, man, but y'all might as well just give it to me.
I'm saving Final Fantasy thoughts for another time.
Oh yeah. I've got plenty to say about that too. Yeah. But yeah, man. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero's final trailer did come out last week.
Yeah.
Final roster trailer. And damn. Listen, okay, look. I'm gonna put it to you like this. A lot of people have had worries, doubts, concerns about what characters were gonna make it into the game, what characters were gonna make it as DLC and whatnot, right? Now, they told us in the jump, Superhero and Daima, that's DLC. So to me, that told me everybody else is fair game in the game. As the roster announcements got closer, you know, we had the grid, and it was starting to get filled up, man. And when we had only 10 characters left on this one, and I understood people were like, man, okay, either GT or movies is not gonna be there. Who held on to hope? This man right here. Because I was like, nah, bro, we might miss a few characters, but we're not going to miss entire categorizations. We're not going to miss entire representations of the series, man. So when they showed us GT And those characters, man, I was like, yeah, I'm ready to go on that grand tour. And then the trailer ended and it was all the slots filled, and then the thing got bigger and it went into the movie characters. I was like, yeah, damn, it feels good. Damn, it feels good.
Yeah. So here's the full final like trailer roster that we got. And there are 182 characters in the base game.
Base game, day one. They've already guaranteed us another 20.
Yes. Over 200 characters will be in this game. It's insane already. So here are the final characters. We got Frieza Force Soldier, you know.
A classic.
Yeah.
Listen, somebody's got to get sliced and diced by Trunks before he fights Frieza.
Yeah.
So we got to have the Frieza Force Soldiers in. I'm sorry. They're necessary. I've seen people say, oh, he got in, but not Super 17. Yes, nigga. He got in, but not Super 17. There's a lot more of those niggas than Super 17 in the 3 episodes that he's really good. And he's really good in those 3 episodes, but he's only really good in 3 episodes.
I'm kind of
hate to say it.
How they're gonna do, like, are they just gonna make it just him, and like, you know how they have costumes and all forms?
Oh yeah. No, it's already confirmed that he has. It's like different alien looks for Frieza Force Soldier. Yeah,
that's what I wanted to make sure. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we got more super characters. We got Frost, Toppo, Kappa as a Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2.
Love to see it.
Love to see it.
Love to see it.
We got the big dog, Z Broly.
Yes, man. Listen, bro. Listen. I feel you, D. I do. But at the same time, we knew this man was gonna be in the game. Come on, man. Come on. Look, they showed us Super Broly from the first trailer. So like, come on. There's no way they're gonna be like, we got the latest version of the character. That original guy, he sucks. Get him out of here. Do I agree with that sentiment? Sure, but there's no way they were just not going to include him. Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle literally just spent the entire past month giving us nothing but new Z Broly cards. Z Broly and Bio Broly. Broly's a big thing. Broly's not going away. So glad he's here, man.
Hashtag there's no Bio Broly in here.
Hey, listen, Goten and Trunks' Great Adventure is a great movie. Featuring 18 the Scammer. Fun movie. fun movie, bro.
Oh, man. You know,
Lord Slug is the movie you think that is, man.
Speaking of Lord Slug, in the game, him and his giant form.
That's right.
We also got
Cooler,
Final
Metal Cooler,
and Metal Cooler, Android 13, Fusion 13, Super Garlic Jr., Garlic fucking Jr.
Yeah, man. Yeah. My man, Dr. Wheelo, back in his big one. You know what I'm saying? Turles. Bojack. Come on, man.
The biggest surprise for me, like, not just Hirudegan, but Tapion.
Yeah.
That was the surprise.
Yeah, man. We got the Ocarina of Time himself. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta pair him with Trunks. I gotta see what. I gotta see what that dialogue is like.
Oh yeah, we need that, bro. We need one. If they have a dialogue with him in future Trunks, this is game of all years, bro.
This is a lifetime achievement award. This is a Nobel Peace Prize. Like,
yeah.
We also got Janemba, Super Gogeta's from Z. You know, so we got all the Gogetas in here.
That's right. All 3 Gogetas in the game, bro. That's wild by itself that there's 3 different Gogetas. Like, nuts to think about, but they made sure, you know what I'm saying, he's included all the way through, man. We got our Super Baby. Bro, best design in the game to me goes out to the Super Baby characters. Because if you remember the GT episodes that they were on, the animation's kind of wonky in some of those episodes. So his face kind of looks like, right?
Yeah.
But like the facial animations, they specifically for Super Baby 1 and 2 just looks like it's like seeing this character drawn in the super style. It looks amazing to me, bro.
Yeah.
Like, man, they did that.
Sin
Shenron, Omega Shenron.
Yeah. The last big character is OG Teen Goku.
That's right.
From OG Dragon Ball.
That's right. I love it, man. I love it. Because they also showed that, well, I've been watching a lot of the videos online from the people that have gotten, the early release build and whatnot. So I've been looking to see what costumes are in. Master Roshi, Tien, Krillin, and Yamcha all have Dragon Ball costumes in.
I love it. I love it.
So really, we don't need to have extra Dragon Ball characters for us to have a Dragon Ball story in this. You could have him just face off against the people he fought in the tournaments. They're already in the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Give us a Piccolo Jr. costume. Bro, we fed.
Now, this is also the last part of the trailer. We got 2 modes. The episode battle and then the custom battle.
Mm-hmm.
The episode battle will be able to go through the entire story, relive some of the greatest fights, but we finally got the full reveal of those 8 characters that we guessed upon.
Shouts out to us.
Shouts out to us. Because we pretty much gave y'all that as a scoop. We didn't know, but we knew. You know what I'm saying? My dog AD was on spot with the Jiren. Spot. Man, listen. That was the only way they could go with it, and they actually did it. So Jiren is gonna be Tournament of Power strictly. That's it. But we're gonna get Goku. We're gonna follow him the most. He got the most arcs. Then we got Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo, Future Trunks. Goku Black is the big surprise.
Bro, playing Goku Black story is gonna be nuts. Because it's one thing they've let us know is that these stories can possibly have what if elements. So it's
yeah,
what's the what if on that gonna be like? You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm interested. What if Goku Black has to go to all the other universes and we fight in Universe 6 folks, fight in Universe 12 folks, Universe 3? What's that like? Well, what if Goku Black has to fight baby Vegeta? What's that like? You know what I mean? We could go anywhere with it for real.
Hold on, because then we get Goku Black arc and it's mixed with GT.
That would be fire, bro. I'm telling you.
We. And then we got Frieza, of course.
Yeah. And I'm excited for that because any other Dragon Ball game before is just Frieza in his arc, right? Mm-hmm. And then the aftermath against Trunks. Now we get his arc, his involvement in Resurrection F, his involvement in the Tournament of Power, right? They're gonna get a lot of cool fights with Frieza, somebody that's a character that typically you would have been just okay, I can't wait to beat him and turn Super Saiyan. Yeah. So yeah, and it's pretty exciting on that one.
I'm gonna just say this, I'm not gonna say this as a side tangent. I want to talk about this a little bit now. You remember way back when we first got the announcement of Resurrection of F, and everybody was like, "Bruh, Frieza again?"
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I do, because it was we just got this new character with Beerus. We just, what I'm saying, we talking about gods and stuff now, and Frieza's back. The fuck? Golden? All right, man. All right, I guess. What they've done with that character ever since then, man, it's been magnificent. The way they've kept him involved, hell, even in the manga, I'm waiting to see what the hell Black Frieza gonna do. And
yeah. It's a good time to be a Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah. He was leaving the Black forces outside of the time chamber when he went in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
That I'm really curious about that part. Who did he link up with?
Yeah.
I want to know if we're gonna, this is speculation for super stuff, but we got angels. Did he meet up with a demon? Do demons have time chambers or whatever?
Especially if we're going into Daima, that's going to introduce the demon realm. That would be a good way to connect Daima to Super, is if we follow and find out that Frieza was working with one of the Makaio Shin.
Mm-hmm.
That would be crazy, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I had never even considered that.
That was one of the big things for me, but that will also kind of make me upset if we're following Daima. Daima is the continuation of Super, and then the Super Daima manga, and then it's Come on, man. Just like,
well, and see that's the thing, right? Is because they really could introduce anything from Daima into Super, because it's supposed to be in the years between Buu and Battle of Gods. So like anything that, like, the bets are off for everything now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it's wild. And we haven't even gotten the end of Z yet, man.
We just got the end of Superhero. Like we're like right there, like within the next year or so.
It's like end of Z. It's like a year or two left. Yeah.
So we will see with that. But then we also got the custom battle, which we can create our own scenarios. So we might be doing some of that stuff, and we can post them. We can post them online and share them.
You can upload them. Yeah, like, I really like that function. I looked a lot into it. It looks like, you know, you can set the limitations on like when certain events happen. So like you could be fighting a character. Like I saw one where, so in this game, Ultra Instinct Goku and Dragon Ball Super Goku are two different characters, right? Like you can't just like go from Super Saiyan Blue into Ultra Instinct. But what Bandai did is they presented a story where you're playing as Whis, fighting against Goku and training him, right? And when Goku would get down to like certain bits of like his health to a certain percentage, he would transform. He would go Super Saiyan, God, then Blue. And then once he got Blue down to a certain amount of health, it swapped out the character of Dragon Ball Super Goku for Ultra Instinct Goku. So I like that in this custom battle, like you're not just set to like the one character, or like you can make it to where it's like, oh, the story is giving them a reason to swap this out, or like make it seem like they transform. Like I just off of that, I already want to make a fight where you got to fight against Goku, and he goes, you're fighting against End of Z Goku, who switches over to Super Goku, who switches over to GT, who switches over to Ultra Instinct. You know what I mean? Like I want to do stuff like that so bad, man. I am definitely about to be like, don't be surprised, y'all, when I rebrand into a Dragon Ball visual novel or like a visual novel author or some shit, bro. Because I'm about to make the most nuts ass Dragon Ball stories you ever seen.
I tune in for it. I'm not gonna hold you. We might have to do a lot of like, what if this saga went this way?
Oh yeah. Oh, listen, that's the first, bro. You're gonna get the Buu saga presented by Jay within a week's time. Please believe.
Oh man, I'm doing the Cell saga whole all over. What if Krillin pushed the button?
Like, yeah.
What if Vegeta wasn't a bitch? Like,
right?
And he did imperfect Cell. Like, what, you know, like we're going through all of that properly. I'm never gonna take my time with that.
Oh yeah. This is really shaping up to be like the greatest Dragon Ball game ever, man.
Yeah. And with that, we're gonna go into the handhelds, because there's a big question that I gotta ask, not just you, Jay, but like for everybody listening about Dragon Ball games in general. So let's go ahead and press start.
Dragon Ball Z, the Legacy of Goku, now on Game Boy Advance. Dragon Ball Z, the Legacy of Goku. Now you can get powered up. Rated E for everyone. Game and system sold separately.
I'm gonna pose you the biggest question, probably the biggest question of this pod right now.
Okay.
If you were given an unlimited budget from Bandai Namco and Shueisha,
that's a lot of money. And Shueisha.
Now listen, because we're gonna make this probably the biggest and best and most marketed Dragon Ball game ever. What kind of game would you want to make, and who would you get as the developer? Music, all like everything.
Oh man,
I need the answers, because with the handheld games, they're not like Budokai. They're not like Butoden. Some of them are, but
Yeah.
but this is probably the most diverse collection
Mm-hmm.
of games that we've had. It's not just fighting games. There are RPGs, there are card games, there are tactical strategy games that are involved,
Yeah.
action adventure. They're all in the handheld genre for us when it comes to this. And
Hell, my favorite Dragon Ball Z handheld game is a game where I pop bubbles. Like they've got tons of Dragon Ball Z handheld games, man. It's insane.
yeah. So what kind of game would you want to make? Like give me
Brother.
the rundown from beginning to
Okay.
end. Like
Okay.
story,
So
what you want to cover, all of that.
listen, man. We've had so many different eras of Dragon Ball covered in games. Especially, here in the modern era, it's mostly like Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super stuff, man. So I want to take us back to our roots. I want to take it to Dragon Ball. Just when Goku meets Bulma through the 23rd World's Martial Arts Tournament. Just Dragon Ball. Who's the developer? Square Enix. What style of game? It's going to look like Dragon Quest 11. Dragon Quest 11 captures the art style of Akira Toriyama in such a loving way, and it captures the air of lighthearted Akira Toriyama adventure and it's such a great way. Like, that's what I want a Dragon Ball game to look like. Now, I know this is kind of a cop-out because, like, well, Kakarot already exists. You could play the 23rd World's Martial Arts Tournament in that. Yeah, but it's an action adventure game. We could take this back to turn-based for all I care. I don't. I really don't. Like, it could be. I would, if it was gonna be something, like, I wouldn't mind it to where it is similar to Kakarot and I have like different actions that I can like give to my character, right? But since it's Dragon Ball, we're not gonna be flying around a lot. So the battle style that Dragon Quest 11 or even maybe like a Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth have are perfect for the sort of game that I would do if we had like Square Enix on board, man. That's really like my ultimate dream for a Dragon Ball game, just because I want to have that entire chapter like into something that's like digestible and isn't just like, oh, I'm gonna go play this game on the Wii, or oh, I'm gonna go play this game on handheld or whatever, right? I think we need something in the modern era that really represents that time of Dragon Ball well. And this might be Akira Toriyama's passing working through me too, but I feel like that would just be the ultimate chapter, right? Fuck it, man. Like, get Kenji Yamamoto back on board, bro. I don't care. Have him do the music, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This Shinitani that does the Dragon Ball Super music. He could do it. Shinsuke Kikuchi had to have taught somebody. Get whoever he taught. You know what I mean? Like, we could make it sound like original Dragon Ball, or we could, make it sound like modern Dragon Ball 2, and that'd be fine. But that's the presentation I'm looking for, man.
Okay. I fuck with that. I'm not gonna lie. The art style, because Akira Toriyama already did Dragon Quest.
Exactly.
It fits perfectly to a T.
Yeah.
So I would love to see that, and we just go back to the roots. For me, I was thinking about it in two different ways.
Okay.
Just because during this week, between episodes, I've been spending a lot of time with the Legacy of Goku games and how those games were presented in like their respective arcs. So like with Legacy of Goku 1, it's just, Saiyan Saga up to the Frieza Saga. Legacy of Goku 2, Android Cell, and Boo's Fury, Boo Saga, So I was like, damn, if I could have it presented in some way, I would like for it to be one made by Monolith Soft, because they've gotten really good with large open world seamless games with Legend of Zelda recently, and then all the Xenoblade Chronicles games.
Oh yeah, listen. Xenoblade Chronicles X, boy.
That was the one in particular where I was like, do I want it between 3 or X? Because X has the flight mechanics that we look for. in games.
Yes.
And Dragon Ball would be perfect for that.
Yeah, it would.
That would be the perfect one.
A lot of franchises would be perfect for that play style, to be real with you, man. Monolith Soft just remastered Xenoblade Chronicles X and put a different skin on it and make whatever the fuck you want. I'll buy it.
They're not gonna do it. I'm saying this now just so that they can do it and not jinx it. they won't do it. That's the only game that they haven't brought back. They dropped 2, 3, and remastered 1 before they decided to do X. And that is the game that we desperately need. Like,
and that it's the one that's like not accessible at all. Like,
I still got it for the Wii. I got it. I think it's in my Wii U right now. Like,
yeah. Shouts out to us being the only 2 Wii U owners still on the planet.
Right. Y'all wasn't there. Y'all wasn't there during the dark
were
time.
Not. Listen, man. Listen, bro. Y'all was not there playing Bayonetta 2 on that because that was the only fucking option y'all had. Y'all were not there with us, bro.
You were not there.
Man. Playing games. Playing games on the little thing, and it's like, oh, I'm too far from the TV. Y'all don't know shit about that. Y'all don't know shit about that.
Y'all came back for the Switch and got Smash Bros. Ultimate, and y'all think y'all know something. Y'all wasn't there for Smash 4 days on the 3DS. Like,
we're buying 2 copies of Smash at the same fucking launch day. Y'all wasn't there,
and it was the only way you could get Mewtwo early as a playable character.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but I would love for them to take at least, if they had to do it in somewhat like a trilogy sequence, at least let us get Dragon Ball first so that we can get like that, entire era. And then we go into Dragon Ball Z, and that can be like the Xenoblade X style where, okay, we're locked to just, Mount Paozu and the wastelands. Then we get to the city, and then we can do all the side quests leading up to the tournaments. We can do tournaments in between the time. It'll be mostly focused on Gohan in that part. Like we can have Goku as like a side character, but we'll mostly be playing as Gohan during that entire time. And then, we get through all of our quests and everything. And
that's a hell of a game.
3 would be Super or GT. We're going into space. That's the main thing. Yeah. We're traveling from planet to planet. It's going to be Starfield. I don't care. Like,
listen, brother, I'll tell you right now, that sounds a lot more fun than Starfield any day. And this is coming from a Starfield enjoyer. Shit. Fuck that game. I will wind up putting another 100 hours into it at some point. I know I will, but fuck that game.
I only put like 15 or 20. After that, I was like,
I'm good. Bro, I did New Game Plus like 3 times, bro. And especially once mods came. Listen.
I might go
you
back
know
to
me.
One day.
I'm a mods enthusiast.
Jada mod man.
Listen, bro, you put a fire mod in a game, I'm downloading that bitch. Easy.
I don't even blame you, because there'd be a lot of mods like we'll talk about it on the extra episode. But when you showed me Budokai Tenkaichi 4, I was like, oh yeah, all right, listen. That might be one of them ones. That might be one of them
shit they're doing with Xenoverse 2, bro. Man, Xenoverse 3 already exists. You know what I'm saying? The modders just made it. Yeah, nah, man. Listen. I'm very, very much about like enhancing my gaming experience, bro. Like, we ain't got time to be sitting here just on vanilla shit and it sucks. No thanks. Yeah. No thanks.
And with a lot of these handhelds, like, we're only stuck to when they first released, at least, because when we can get into the hacking scene. I don't know if there are any hacks for this just yet. But at least when these games first came out, there were
really just translation hacks.
Yeah. And I just really want to make a point that the franchise took many different directions, because the main things that we know about are the Legacy of Goku games. I'm pretty sure that's what a lot of people know. Legacy of Goku.
You think about handhelds, and that's the one that comes to mind.
Yeah, and they're good games, but like I said, I've spent I'm not gonna say they're good games, but
for their time, it was all we had.
It was all we had. Because Legacy of Goku 1 is some shit.
We can start it here. Okay, Legacy of Goku 1, man. Look, man. It's 2002, bro. So, really, at this point, Budokai ain't even dropped yet. So this is really it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Budokai comes from a few months later, right? This is all we have. And the little cartoony style, basically a Legend of Zelda type RPG on a handheld. We were eating it up. Don't get me wrong.
And
but I think I fucking blew up more dogs in that game than I fought Frieza soldiers.
That's a fact, because the Frieza soldiers didn't even come until the end of the game.
Yeah.
And they had the most XP that you. That's the other thing. So let me start off with the good stuff. Let me start off with the good stuff.
Let's get to it.
The best things about this game are the cutscenes. You
animated cutscenes.
We actually get snippets of the anime in the game. They actually like compress them down, but you actually get like, you know, summoning Shenron, like the opening Dragon Ball Z. You get like Goku. All of that stuff is actually in the game. Like
my Game Boy Advance video enjoyers, y'all know what to expect with this video quality. It's worse than YouTube 2006, but at the time, boy, I was never more excited to see a little pixelated Super Saiyan Goku highlighted on my screen, boy. I was like, this is it. We're in the future.
Oh, man. Let me tell you something, man. When I first played this game way back in the day, man, I got my ass handed to me so many times just because of, one, you go to Roshi's Island. You start off at Roshi's Island. You have to do some quests or whatever, and you're given the ability to punch, shoot ki blast, or fly. But your flight meter is limited. Like you can go like, and then you're just jumping across the screen. But you really have no direction on where to go. So you can legitimately get stuck if you have nothing to do or you have no idea to go. Raditz shows up, takes Gohan, and not only are you not able to go directly to Raditz after the fact, but you have to kill those wolves and snakes and do random side quests along the way before you even come close to meeting with Raditz.
World champion of the 23rd World's Martial Arts Tournament, by the way. Just getting taken out by fucking snake bites.
Snake bites. 3 or 4, you're done. Wolf, you're cooked. You gotta save a scientist that's stuck in the middle of the ocean who won't let me carry him over with flight. You have to go collect some stones to like get him back over. Like, what are we doing here? Like,
you got to get a toy boat for a little kid. Mm-hmm. Like, the fetch quest in this, boy. Man, listen, y'all. The developers of this game need to be very glad I was 14 and had nothing but time to kill.
I think the developers knew that people really didn't have time to kill, because you know what they did? They added a cheat code for invincibility.
See, and you don't get those in RPGs, man.
You
don't get those. They're only putting that in there because they know you are going to die a fuck ton. So we might as well make it easy for you to avoid dying.
Not even just that. If you're testing the game, you don't have time yourself to go back. They did that for themselves. I guarantee you, they were like, "Yeah, we can't waste time on this shit no more. We gotta keep it going."
Had to be, boy, because otherwise beta testing would have took like 3 years.
Like the frame animations are pretty bad. You get a Kamehameha, it doesn't go across the screen. It barely goes like 3 feet.
Little blast. Just
yeah, that's about it. Yeah, man. And then just grinding in general is a tedium. Like you legitimately have to kill those wolves up until you get to like a certain area where you can start killing dinosaurs. And the one thing about that is if you go off the screen and come back, they respawn.
Yeah.
So
and you're stuck with whatever health you had because there ain't the healing items few and far between.
Yes.
I'm talking about like this is one of those games where like you could literally be like, oh, I'm just trying to get back to where I was, and you could wind up dying like 5 times just trying to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a pain in the fucking ass is what this game is.
Yeah. Now I will say if you are able to spend a little bit of time, it's not that long. It's not that
No.
long. You go through the Raditz arc. You do travel on Snake Way after you die. You meet the Snake Princess. You train on King Kai's planet. Come back. You have to do some more side quests before you get to Nappa and Vegeta. The other thing that pisses me off about this game, wholeheartedly, is that you will see characters on the field with you as you're doing these boss levels. Like you will,
and they just sitting there not doing
they just
shit.
You can run up and talk to them and be like, "Nigga, help me!"
Yeah.
Nigga, what are you doing?
We should go look for senzu beans, guys. Nigga, I need a senzu bean right now.
What are you doing here? Shoot a blast.
Yeah. Yeah. They had you fucked up on that game, bro.
It was so
They
bad.
was just leaving you to die in so many situations.
And they're just sitting there watching you like, Goku can handle this. Nigga, I got 1 HP. I'm hitting this man and running away. Now there are like different items on the field to like you won't die too quickly unless you're just like that bad. But like also the frames are pretty bad in this game.
Terrible.
Like, it's really bad. Like
Try to fly to another stage, and then like the little screen will stay stuck for a second and then move.
mhm.
It's like I understand that's all we had back in the day, and like those were the gaming mechanics that were normal, but like it is almost impossible to go back to this game for me.
Yeah.
I don't find too much enjoyment in it.
That's the game I don't recommend going back to.
Oh yeah.
If you want to play Legacy of Goku, don't go back to that game. Now, Legacy of Goku 2,
now we're starting to cook.
they learned their lessons. So also, I forgot to mention, this game was developed by Webfoot Technologies. They are known for the Legacy of Goku series, and I think GT Transformation also.
Yes.
So like they learned their lessons.
They didn't learn too much because they made Taiketsu as well. Listen, I don't have a segment. I don't have a segment for Taiketsu at all. Imagine Dragon Ball Z claymation fighting on a Game Boy Advance, and there you've imagined Dragon Ball Z Taiketsu. Worst Dragon Ball Z game of all time, bro.
I saw some gameplay of it, and it looked like robot chicken characters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Emulating Mortal Kombat. That's what it looked like to me. And not just like new Mortal Kombat, like Mortal Kombat 1. Like
one. Not even two.
Original.
One.
So no. Yeah, that's a hell nah.
But they definitely put their foot in for Legacy Goku 2. I will say that, man.
Yeah.
Everything they learned from Legacy of Goku 1 was right there. And it definitely felt like they were trying to, like, you could compare Legacy of Goku 1 to like Legend of Zelda on the Nintendo. You could compare Legacy of Goku 2 to Link to the Past. Like that's the kind of like advances we're talking about. It's not too big of a departure, but it definitely makes the flow of the game go by easier. You got more characters to play as this time around too. Since we're covering the Cell, the Android
start
Cell
off
saga
in the future Trunks. Like you start off as future Trunks.
That's the first game I could think of that has the future storyline in it.
Yes. Like you start off as him, and then you go through like him turning into Super Saiyan, and then you go back to like play as Gohan, and then you get hints of the Blackwater Mist arc, that filler.
Yes, yes. They talk about like it just happened, and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the stuff in 2 and Boo's Fury that they do with like side quests and like building up the world, it feels like the anime. It feels like something that they were trying to like give a little bit more life to. Like whereas with 1, it was just like these random side quests, fetch quests that just had no like place or bearing on the story, and they were just there to give Goku stuff to do. This felt like it was more natural progression of what the Dragon Ball story was, and made us feel like we were living alongside and in the shoes of these characters.
Yeah.
So
like we had actual like towns you could go to that were locations during the Cell saga. You know what I'm saying? You had like different little areas you could go to that was like, oh wait, like that's Goku's house for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it was really neat. I will say, I really enjoyed that the music was from the Funimation dub.
Yes.
Which, I mean, like at this time,
yes.
like, man, like that is the Dragon Ball experience if you're an American Dragon Ball Z fan. Playing this in 2003, right? It really was something where it was like, damn, like this really feels like I'm playing Dragon Ball Z. They even make sure to like AD mentioned, it starts after the Blackwater, Garlic Jr. saga. And it even mentions the little time period of the in between the 10 days before the Cell saga. Like you even get to play like what Gohan was up to in that. And that's just like a little throwaway filler episode. But this was what Dragon Ball Z was at the time, man. Like we were just fresh off the Cell saga. So getting a game where we got to play like the most exciting part of the show for us at this time, like it was right on time, bro. I would say like, hell, without this game, you don't get Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
Yes. Not even just that. They also add in, and it was surprising to me, they make sure to add in movie content. So we get like a snippet of Cooler showing up. Like,
yeah.
They made
and like Cooler's like mentioned throughout the game. Like it's like, oh no, like Cooler's a threat. Like, oh hey, he's on planet Namek. Go check out what's going on there. Like, they weave it into the story. It was done really well.
Yes, wholeheartedly. Like, this is probably the game. If you're going back to any Legacy of Goku game, this is the one. The only downside to me, like, as far as like, I'm not gonna say downsides because like there aren't as many compared to one. The like small downsides are they're still grinding. Like you still gotta grind.
Yeah.
But and the save points. Save points are probably the other biggest thing. In 2024, not as big of a problem because we got save states. We got emulation now.
Yeah.
But playing back then, that was not the move. That was not the move.
And you would oftentimes be like at a chip of health left before you found one.
Yes.
Like it was. I really feel like you literally aren't powerful in that game at all till the end. You know what I'm saying? And even then, I remember grinding that Cell battle to level Gohan up a few times. You know what I mean? Like it's like one of those things where it's like, okay, like now I feel like I'm ready for this game, as opposed to like in the beginning, it almost feels like Legacy of Goku 1.5 with how much easy shit can take you out.
Yeah. But they do allow us to get like items now, like a little bit more health items. Things are just a lot easier to manage in this game. So like as a whole, with the expansion of characters that you could play as, and like the movement options are better. You can run now. That was a small detail that like made the game go a lot faster too. The fact that you could run like just even made it better. It wasn't like flying was a big thing. Like you can fly around in the overworld and stuff, but like it just wasn't a part of the world or the game like one was. So that was one of the biggest changes that was really good. But overall, as a whole, this was a really good step up from one.
And then, this one had like the first like well, I mean, you had multiple characters, but you had Hercule as a hidden character. Yeah. And I specifically remember it was like something where you had to get like these trophies or something like that. And you had to like do this huge side quest to get Hercule after you beat the game. But if you did beat the game with Hercule, you would get a cutscene where it was like Hercule telling everybody on TV how he beat Cell. And I just remember that shit being so hilarious. I was like, yo, like that's really cool that they gave us like even something from his perspective in it. Like I love Legacy of Goku 2. That game, like when I think about the Game Boy Advance, I think about it as my JRPG machine because I lived on JRPGs on that console. And I lump Legacy of Goku 2 in with the rest of them whenever I'm thinking about those memories, man.
Yeah. And it's definitely one of the ones that's worth going back to. And Boo's Fury. Boo's Fury,
man. You want to talk? I'm gonna admit something live here for y'all. This is one Dragon Ball game I've never played. Never played it. I never got around to it. I couldn't explain why.
So let me put it like this: I have just really started playing it, so I'm not too deep into it.
Okay.
But I will say this is probably the best of the trilogy. The
I
world
remember seeing some really cool shit was in this game.
the world has expanded. First, let me start off like this. It starts off with the 7-year time period, but it doesn't start off with Gohan just yet. It starts off with not Piccolo, Goku in Otherworld, and he fights in the tournament against Pecan. Like
See,
he fights in the tournament. You get the Grand Kai stuff. You get that entire filler arc, and that's the one thing about Legacy of Goku 2 and this game. You get a lot of the filler content, but it's playable, and it makes the world more expansive. So like, you're fighting this with Goku. You're getting a lot. You not only is the game a little bit more expensive, it feels more like a JRPG in that you have equipable items. So like you have shirts, you have feet like shoes. You know how he has the weighted weights?
the weighted
Yeah.
clothing.
Yeah, he has all of that as equipables, and
That's
it,
sick.
it lets you like level up faster. You have amulets that give you more like health and everything like that. It feels a lot more like a JRPG in that sense. And then as you go along, like you play as Gohan in high school, you get the Great Saiyan Man stuff. And so like a lot of that, him stopping robbers and saving Videl. I think it's the circus episode with the Triceratops or whatever. Like you play as all of that. That's all like the beginning of the game, and you're getting accustomed to like the mechanics. You're getting accustomed to like playing as Great Saiyan Man and like leveling up, taking out these bad guys in the city. And there are just like multiple locales that you can like fly in and out of across the world. You can stop bandits that are trying to rob people. You can like raid treasure chests. It really feels like somewhat of an open world game. And then for even more movie content, you get the Janemba stuff.
See, I remember seeing videos of you being able to play as Gogeta in this, and I was like, "Damn, I really missed out, huh?"
Yeah, that I'm gonna keep playing just to get to the end of this game. Like, I wholeheartedly love the fact that they gave us that. It's a little snippet. You see, like Janemba off on the side, and you can go back to it at some point.
I'm putting this ROM on the 3DS tonight, boy.
Listen, man.
Yes, sir.
I've been playing these games on Delta. Shout out to the phone emulator.
Yeah. Shout out to all emulations all over, man. Listen, bro. It's never been a better time to be able to play these old school handheld games. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah. With that game, I've gotten up to where we fight. Or we're not where we fight. I just finished fighting Spopovich and Yamu, like 2v1 as Gohan. And the fight is pretty good. You can get people in the stun locks easy. But the other thing about this game, like they improve the battle mechanics. So now the AI, the enemies, actually have a lot more intelligence. Like
they're not just running into you, but
they will back away when they see you approaching them. They will back away. There's a guard button. Like they will actually block. You can block. So like there's a little bit more like it
feels more fleshed out.
Oh yes, way more fleshed out.
Okay, I'm gonna have to give this one a look, man.
I'm telling you, they actually one up themselves. Like Webfoot Technologies. I don't know what you were on with Taiketsu and Transformation or whatever. Like, no, y'all might need to go back to this.
Yeah, man. Y'all had it.
Y'all finally got the formula down. And then with this also, like, I like what they attempted to do, because with each game, like you knew that you had to grind. So what they tried to do is at the beginning of Legacy, like you can beat Legacy of Goku 1 with Goku at like level 25,
So then you start Goku is 25 and 2, right?
Somewhere around the area. It's like level 30.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
in Boo's Fury, you start off with him at like 60. And everybody's up at like 60, 65. When you get to play as Vegeta, you can play as Vegeta, Kid Trunks, Videl, Gohan, and Goku, as far as I know right now. With like Legacy of Goku 2, you can play as Piccolo, Future Trunks, and Gohan and Goku. And Vegeta, I think. Yeah. Like those 5 characters. So it's like in addition to expanding the roster, the fact that they allowed you to do that, but also with each character, if they're at a certain level, if they're at a certain level, there are special gates across the world that you can just like go into, and they'll have optional bosses, optional like side quests or whatever. Like in Boo's Fury, there's an area for Pilaf's castle.
Oh,
You can go
word.
into. Like, yeah, there's special areas that you can go into, and you can try to like figure out. Like now, like I said, I haven't gotten to like a deep level. Like right now, my next character is like Vegeta at like 75. So I will try to keep it going. But the fact that they've been able to expand on this, and because you have to play as every character to get like further into like all of the content as a whole, I dig what they did with this. It forces you to like play as everyone and do like different things. Now, granted, everybody's base moveset is pretty much the same. You got the regular
Yeah.
attack. They may have their special attack, like Gohan has Masenko. I think Vegeta has like Gallic Gun, or no, I think it's like Big Bang Attack. He might have Big Bang Attack. Goku has Kamehameha. I think everybody has like some type of beam or whatever. And then all the Saiyans have a Super Saiyan mode. But because they do it in that way, they have their own specials, and just in general, the fact that you can play as all of the different characters. And not only that, like I said in the Legacy of Goku 1, where you have the different cutscenes, with this one, they have the thing from Budokai 1 where it's the title card, but it says chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, and they play like opening music.
That's sick, bro.
They play really heavy into the episodic theme of the games.
Look, man, listen. As an avid Dragon Ball Z Kakarot enjoyer, I see where they got the blueprint, bro. Honestly, and I know we're gonna talk about that game later, but when that game came out, when I was playing it, I was like, man, this is what we imagined Legacy of Goku as. And especially with like the presentation you're explaining for like what they've got in 3, like that sounds a lot like what early handheld version of what
prototype,
we have.
Like they got the prototype. So I gotta get back to the game. I've been spending a lot of time on these other games, but like just building up to getting back to Kakarot has been, because I've also been playing Tenkaichi like for that episode.
Such good stuff, man. Such good stuff.
But there are also so many other games. But as a whole, we know about the Legacy of Goku Trilogy, and I think Webfoot Technologies did their big one with this series. But there are also many other games. Which
the
game?
Handheld world is vast, bro.
Which games did you play that you think stood out the most to you, whether they're good or bad?
Oh man. Okay, look. Dragon Ball Z Attack of the Saiyans. To me, one of the most slept on. I would save this for the sleepers if there were not more slept on games. But Attack of the Saiyans, for sure. Monolith Soft doing a Dragon Ball game just blows my mind, even to say that as a sentence. But we're talking about like a top-down sort of like style where since this is on the DS, you've got like different functions you can choose from your bottom screen. What I really love is that with this being in the Attack of the Saiyans, you would assume it's just the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, but it starts you before that. It starts you right at the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament with Piccolo. And I have the firm belief that, like, man, some of the best Dragon Ball games of all time at least let you do that. And this is definitely one of those that joins it, man. The animations for this, like, it's like hand almost like a hand drawn, like cell shaded style with the animations for the characters on the screen. It's like a sort of like an action turn based style too. So it's a lot of fun. You can get into it, man. I honestly revisit this one once every couple of years.
When I saw this on the list, and because I was just talking about Monolith Soft and like my fascination, I'm a Xenoblade fan. So like,
oh yeah.
So when I saw this game, as I was playing Legacy of Goku and preparing for this episode, I was like, oh fuck, I gotta play this game. I threw my hands up in the air. I was like, well, shit, I'm never gonna get to any of my new games if I'm gonna keep playing old Dragon Ball games. Like, it's just
backlog already crazy enough.
Oh man, Attack of the Backlog, man. Listen, man. All these games hate me. I haven't. Listen, side tangent. There are at least 5 games that I've at least streamed within the last year that I have not completed, and it's just a bad time. Tears of the Kingdom, haven't finished. Soul Hackers 2, haven't finished. One Piece Odyssey, haven't finished. What else? SMT 5, haven't finished. I gotta look over to the side. There's another one over here.
Did you beat what was the name of it? What's the name of that RPG you were playing recently? It starts with an O. I want to say
O.
Yeah, I think it starts with an O.
I'm trying to think. Fuck. What was it? Damn. Oh, Unicorn Overlord.
Unicorn Overlord. Yes, I was like, I remember Overlord. I remember that part.
That one I actually finished. It took me some time, but I actually finished it. Play the demo, by the way. There's a demo. I know we talked about it before, but there's a demo out. If you want to get used to the gameplay, go ahead and check that out. But also play 13 Sentinels.
I was about to say, I still got to get to 13 Sentinels. I still got to get there.
Listeners out there, if you like anime, if you like sci-fi, if you like crazy narratives, if you are a streamer, please, I am begging you. I will sub to your channel just for you to play 13 Sentinels. Like
serious.
That is one of those games where it's like, this is how you tell game design and story all in one like cohesive way. Like that is a really, it's a mystery, it's sci-fi, it's all of that stuff. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about I'll go on a tangent about that game. But yeah, man, like just all of these games that are just expansive.
Bro,
like so
yeah, Attack of the Saiyans. That was a big one. If we're gonna talk about the good and the bad, listen, man, I gotta. Okay, look, I think we all have suffered through some games more than others, right? There are some series that have good releases in them and some that have bad releases in them. Supersonic Warriors, not a fun game. Supersonic Warriors 2, fucking hit. I don't understand how when they switched from Game Boy Advance to the DS, they were able to get it right. But Supersonic Warriors 2 is where it's at for me.
And it's funny that you say that because that's Arc System Works. And they gave us fighters.
Yeah.
Like, we'll talk about fighters in that episode when it comes up. But they had the blueprint. They did. They figured it out. They figured it out.
Between that and Extreme Butoden?
Yeah.
Man, Extreme Butoden, that's another one, man. Like
that one I really want to play. That one is, well, I might swap that in between fusions.
Because listen, boy, I'll go in about fusions at length in the future. But like those are some like really, really, really great games, man. Like the Extreme Butoden one is crazy because Arc Systems Works was also doing a One Piece fighting game for the 3DS at the same time. And it was like Treasure something.
Yeah, it wasn't Treasure Cruise. No,
that wasn't it.
No.
3DS. Great Pirate Coliseum is
Okay.
what it was. Great Pirate Coliseum. And basically, if you had both games, they allowed you to be able to combine them. So you could play Dragon Ball characters versus One Piece characters. It was nuts.
Listen, man. Jump had some hits. Jump
Bro.
had some hits, man.
Bro. Like they really, that was an era of like where there just were so many games that it was like, okay, I don't know what to check for. But if you go back, like especially that like DS, 3DS era, man, there's some good stuff waiting. Fusions, I've poured countless hours in the fusions. Like I said, I'll definitely get into that at another time, but I stand by Dragon Ball Fusions as one of the greatest Dragon Ball games to ever exist.
Advanced Adventure was the one.
Advanced Adventure was so fun, bro. Like, there's like, it's always these like Dragon Ball games, like, because Dragon Ball just wasn't, we got it after Z here in the West. A lot of stuff goes like under the radar for us, but it really was one of those, like, if you were a pure Dragon Ball game and you got a fan and you just happened to get that game, bro, you had a hit, man. The little action adventure style of it, the fact that you would have there was a little fighting mode in it where you could. There's another game just like this, really, where there's a fighting mode.
What was that one?
Revenge King Piccolo. King Piccolo for the Wii. That's another game for another day. But they both have the same sort of thing where it's like, yo, these sleeper Dragon Ball games where it has like these different features in it that you don't even expect, but it's just like so much fun. You basically getting two games in one, man. Like, bro, Dragon Ball, the fantastic adventure that it is, bro, the mysterious adventure that it is, it's gotten a lot of great games, even pre-Z shit, man.
Fucking, how do you feel about Dragon Ball Origins?
Dragon Ball Origins 1 and 2, other sleepers, bro. Right there, man. Dragon Ball Origins 1 and 2 were some really fun games. I liked the little like battle style for it. And I liked that it had so much charm in giving you like the full scenes in that 3D animated style. We're talking about like the early DS days, right? So if you remember, like a lot of DS games would go for like that sort of like super deformed style where like everybody had the big chibi heads and little bodies.
Yeah.
But even though they're telling Dragon Ball with that sort of like art style, Dragon Ball Origins is one of those games that like the gameplay, the way it looks, the way it feels, all of that, man. Like I love Dragon Ball Origins, bro. I played Dragon Ball Origins 2. I did go back and play Origins once, but like it was one of those things where it was like, I can't go back. I gotta stay on 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But man, yeah, that's a great damn game too. Like that's another thing I miss from that era, and that's like why, like I would say that's one of those games. If you have Delta, yeah, that's cool emulated on that. But if you have a DS, mod that thing and put it on there because it's the touch controls, the little things like that you just can't emulate the same way no more. And the way that it felt, like it just fun experience all around, bro.
Okay. I might have to work on that one. That might have to be something to look at. Before we get out of here, because we've run long form on this one. This is probably the longest episode so far. These are handheld games by definition.
Yes.
But how do you feel about Dragon Ball Legends and Dokkan Battle?
Oh my God!
When you talk about them, you're like, "Go,
brother! You want to save this for the end? You want to save this for the end? Oh my God!
Because man, I had to.
Okay, listen. I am the Dokkan Battle addiction expert extraordinaire. Okay, I've been playing Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle since 2018. I'm really in love with this damn game. I am so into it that I've even like I'm very much the type of person like, yo, if you get into this, don't pay for stones and stuff. I'll teach you how to play for free. It's an amazing experience, bro. Like you see, I'm level 900 on this thing, bro. Like this game is serious. At the end of the day, it is just like it can look like Candy Crush with Dragon Ball because you're just like popping bubbles to get your characters all powered up. But like the cards have really great abilities. Like if you're a JRPG gamer, you're already like trying to be like, okay, wait, these cards go on certain categories and they have certain skills and their abilities might work with another card. Like it'll get you into really like thinking, because even though it is just an RNG, like Dragon Ball Z PNG generator, those cards will, like, you'll get like a card that's from like your favorite scene of a fight, and you'll be like, fuck yeah. And then you see the animations going off, and like that's a thing. It's like this game has been around so long that like it used to be just little sprite models doing now they have animations that rival the show for whenever your character's doing like super attack. Yeah, man, like I'll show you after this. Like some of the animations that they have in this game are great, and the game has gotten to a point to where they don't even just like remake animations from the show. They'll make special new animations for stuff. Like we got a future Gohan card that has a father, older brother, son, Kamehameha special beam cannon, where it's like
what?
Goku and yes,
what?
It's Goku to one side, Piccolo to another side, and then Gohan in the future Gohan in the middle. And it's just like they make these like brand new scenes and brand new moments that are like, God, man, like that's the coolest shit ever.
Hold on. So, what is the story? Is there a story? Is there any type of thing? Because the only mobile games that I play are like Nintendo based. It's Pokemon Go and Fire Emblem Heroes. And like Fire Emblem Heroes has a somewhat of a story that follows like Fire Emblem characters, but they have like their own like neutral in-game story or whatever like that. And Pokemon Go, they added a story. What is that?
You see, and that's something that's Future Trunks teamed up with Z-Broly. That's never happened. Ever.
What the fuck am I looking at? What am I looking? What are we doing here? Like I don't even know if this video will come out. But what are we doing here?
No, man. So like there is a little story mode where like it'll send you through some of like the famous moments and be like, oh, this is when Goku fought who, such and such, and blah 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 blah. Right? But like we've gotten to a point to where like the quest mode is just this ongoing sort of thing where like it just introduces who, what, when, how. Just to be like, okay, these are the characters we have that you're fighting against. The story really isn't so important. It's there, but it's literally an afterthought to the rest of the game. You're mostly doing these, like, we have monthly celebrations where we get new cards, and they're always themed around some character from that moment. So for that month, we'll have a campaign where you'll get that new card. Since the game's been around for a long time, we have old cards that have been around for a long time. So they'll awaken old cards into like a whole new style where they add new abilities to them. So that way they can keep up with the current meta. Like, yeah, man. Like it's one of those things, like even as a person who's been playing this game like 7 years, I've been able to see like this game really take some leaps and bounds in how it's grown. And like cards that came out in 2016 wouldn't, they're useless in today's meta, but they do this thing called Extreme Z Awakenings, where it takes their max level from 120 to 140, gives them a boost in their abilities and their stats, and then their passive ability will go from something that was like, you know, does 80% attack on this single attack to something that looks like this.
Wait, what is that? Wait, hold on. Let me...
That's their passive ability that I'm highlighting, right? You see that big wall of text?
I wanted to make sure that was a big wall of text. That's some Togashi ass motherfucking.
Yeah, man. Yeah. You basically feel like a Jujutsu Kaisen reader trying to understand a domain. They have domains. They have domains in this game. Characters have domains.
What are we doing here? How did we get here?
See, Broly's got a domain. It basically it's like a field attack that they do, and it lasts for a certain amount of time, and it boosts their stat, just like a domain expansion. I'm stronger now in my domain expansion. Like it's, and that feature came last year.
I blame Yu-Gi-Oh.
That feature came
I'm
last
not
year.
blaming Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm blaming Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh yeah, field card, yeah. But man, I could go on. I won't go any further. But Dokkan is life for me. I'm on my 2000 and something like consecutive, like not in a row, but like total days logged in. Dragon Ball Legends came out, I think 2018. It is an entirely different style of game. You also are collecting cards and stuff like that, but it's more of like there's a player versus player aspect. So you can take your card, they take their card, and you can do like certain like abilities, and they fight. It's using Xenoverse 2 graphics in the fights and everything. It's really neat. I'm not a fan of that game myself. Like, I don't play Dragon Ball Legends. I only have time for one gacha, buddy, and it's the one true gacha. But I do definitely see where like the love for that can come from, right? Like people wanting like a more direct, like, oh, I want to actually feel like I'm fighting my opponent, sort of thing. Coolest thing to come from Dragon Ball Legends is that since the animations are on the Xenoverse 2 engine, a lot of those animations have been modded into Xenoverse 2 and makes for some really cool shit. I know a lot of people that play Legends. It's just not my game, but I can see why it's lasted as long. Yeah, man. Yeah, great games. If I'm going to talk about any other one Dragon Ball handheld game before we go, I have to tell y'all. You might not notice Dragon Ball Evolution had a game.
Oh, we never talked about those.
And it's good. It's good. It is essentially a Budokai 3 skin with Dragon Ball Evolution characters. It came out for the PSP. It's made by the same developers as Budokai, so you know your attacks really the same sort of like if you played Budokai, you already know how to play this game. But man, you know, everybody knows Dragon Ball Evolution sucks. It's the worst thing to come for Dragon Ball ever. This game tried to take the story of that movie and make it more in line with actual Dragon Ball. So like you've got like characters mentioned like doing things that were like, oh, okay, no, like all right, like so there's a reason. Like you have Grandpa Gohan has the power pole. You know what I mean? Like little stuff that's like trying to make it closer to actual Dragon Ball. It will never fix the story of Dragon Ball Evolution. You're still gonna be stuck there as like the folks from Shameless as Goku and Bulma. That's never gonna go away. But if we're talking about gameplay, it's not a waste of time. It's fun. It's fun. Surprisingly to say, Dragon Ball Evolution does have a good game.
That's probably the best thing that we can say about Dragon Ball Evolution.
That's the
anywhere
only good. That's the only time you'll ever catch the words Dragon Ball Evolution and good in the same sentence from me, boy.
Oh man. All right. I think we've run long enough.
Oh yeah. Listen, if one of your favorite games is one we didn't get to, we apologize.
Tell us.
Let us know and look at the list next time you get a chance of Dragon Ball handheld games, and you'll realize we would have needed a double time episode if we was gonna really get through everything.
Yeah. Like I said in the beginning, like I tried to play through as much of the Legacy of Goku games as possible, and when I realized that there were a lot more games,
yeah.
Shout out to y'all who played them all during the 2000s, man.
Well, the OGs, we had to get through it somehow, man.
Yeah, man. Because listen, it was only so much that we could do back then. Oh yeah. As always, bro. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for
always.
You know, we couldn't have done this without you. Next week we might have a special guest on. We might.
That's right.
But this is gonna be one of the biggest.
Oh yeah.
We're expanding even further. Can we get much higher? I don't know, but like
the power levels can still be raised. You know what I'm saying? Listen, if you're excited for Sparking Zero, you're gonna want to tune in for next week, man. Because without those games, Sparking Zero ain't even an idea.
This is changed. This ain't Budokai no more.
Yeah,
this ain't just Budokai no more. This is
that's right.
Budokai Tenkaichi.
Tenkaichi.
We're
Hey
covering.
man, look, I've got hella experience with these games. The Japanese, the English, in between, all that, man. I'm telling, I love these games. I'm very excited to get into. What I still hold true is like some of my favorite Dragon Ball Z games ever made.
Listen, I'm not gonna hold you. I got my modded Wii U over here. I'm gonna take some time because I've been playing the ROMs of the PS2 versions, but I grew up
Okay.
with the Wii versions, so I may take some time to kind of see what that's
Honestly,
on.
I have the Wii version of Budokai Tenkaichi 3 on Dolphin myself, and it's smooth.
Oh yeah,
It's smooth. So yeah, you're gonna enjoy that.
yeah. It's been a long time since I played Budokai because I don't have that copy anymore, unfortunately. But like,
Yeah.
The controls are also different in a.
Oh yeah. You're gonna pick this up and be so lost the first fight, bro. Like it's one of those. Even with me, when me going back to this game every few years, my brain can't decide between Xenoverse controls or Kakarot controls, sparking. I'm all over the place, bro. I'm trying to fly, and I'm like, which one of these? Yeah. So yeah, I would say watch a YouTube video of something first.
But that's gonna be a fun one because we're gonna have a
is.
guest on, and we may also talk about an extra Tenkaichi game in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just to touch on it.
Listen, man. Tenkaichi series has gone to some great lengths.
They
ways
have.
that y'all might not even be aware of.
And we'll talk about that next time. But until then, thank you guys for listening to Plug and Play. Please follow the Lookout RNC on all the socials. We are on Twitter /X. We're on IG. We are on YouTube. We are on TikTok. We are on Twitch. Follow me and Jay, 1ADZL, Versace Vegeta _. You know, we are everywhere. We're always posting about different stuff, games, anime, random shows, sport. Like, follow RNC Radio. We do everything. We're everybody.
All over, and we ain't going nowhere.
Nowhere. So until next time, stay plugged in.
Y'all be easy.